How are you?
Good. So, last time we were here, you mentioned that you were having some issues with Patrick, your husband, and I wanted to see, where you guys are with that and what you wanted to talk about today.
Yeah, like, I feel like this has just, been going on forever. It's like, seems like it's always the topic of our sessions, but I'm just getting really frustrated. Like, we've just been fighting, and it seems like it's about these mundane issues, like, him not paying attention to me, or me getting frustrated when he won't clean the house or something, and I just start to like pick, and then we fight.
And do you feel like usually it's something that he does that makes you want to start the fight, or is it vice versa?
Yeah, I've been trying to pay attention to the like cycle of what happens, like we had talked about, and it does seem like there is like an issue, like an event, such as not doing the dishes, or not taking the dog out. Like, there'll be something that I'll get annoyed at, and then I'll snap at him.
Why do you think you're snapping at him?
I mean, it's obviously not about the dog or the dishes. We've been married for 5 years now. Maybe it's just, the culmination of just this buildup of mundane, day-to-day things, with the 7-year itch or something. I don't know.
And where do you think the fighting began? Was it a couple years ago? Was it recent?
It's kind of hard to say. I guess it was kind of like a gradual thing. Like, it's definitely, when we first started dating, it was all sunshine and rainbows. And then after we got married, it was pretty blissful. And then we were living together for a while, kind of picked up. And I think that we just stopped, I don't know, being there and really caring. And we just started saying things to each other that we never would have said back when we were newlyweds. And we started, not doing the nice things that we used to do, and just like we just weren't the same.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned that you think now that you're 5 years in the marriage, it's kind of that 7-year itch. What makes you think that you guys are reaching that right now?
Probably just, I mean, that's definitely like a concern, I would say. When you start to have problems with someone who you care so much about, you spend a lot of, at least as a woman, like, I spend a lot of time like reading all these relationship self-help books, and I'm just like trying to find an answer, and I don't even know that there is a right answer. I feel like I just keep like expecting that, like, we're just gonna wake up one day and be like we used to. And I guess I'm scared that we don't feel the same way about each other anymore, or we aren't growing together. Like, they say that people, like, every 7 years they change, or whatever that like statistic is or something. Actually, that might be food preferences. Maybe that's different. But regardless, I just, like, after a while, I'm not the same person as when we got married, and he's not the same person either. And I think that it takes work to maintain that relationship. And I think that especially in today's society, people don't always do that. And it's like, like our grandparents just like stuck through it. And I think a lot of times people give up, and I'm just like really not wanting to give up. And I just feel like I'm putting effort into things that he's just not putting effort into.
Now, have you talked to Patrick about this?
I've yelled about it.
Okay. But you mentioned that you feel like you both are drifting apart and that you look at things one way and he looks at things one way. Has he said anything that makes you think that way?
So it's hard because I feel like we used to be like such great communicators and like I could tell this person everything.
Yeah.
And now I feel like we're really in this cycle of like something happens, I yell about it. It's probably not the issue, like this is not what I'm really upset about. I'm upset that he's, you know, not putting in effort anymore or not paying attention to me. And so I yell at him about something tiny like the dishes, and then we're like not really focusing on the root of the issue. So like when he's responding to me yelling about the dishes, he's like, this is so stupid, you're crazy, why are you even bringing this up, like all you do is nag. And it's like we're not even getting to like why I'm actually upset. So like by the time we get to that part, like we're already yelling at each other and it's emotional and there's no constructive back and forth between us by that point.
Now, do you see a pattern of what's actually making you upset? What triggers you from fighting? And instead of actually talking about it and deciding, okay, I'm going to calmly sit down and actually talk about something that bothers me, instead you guys go and fight about it. What's triggering that?
Frustration, probably.
Okay.
I'm very reactive. So I mean, that's something I need to work on. Because I just see something, I get mad about it, and I react to it. I don't take the time to think through why I feel this way and what's really going on. I just do it, and then it's like a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's normal to feel frustrated about things that you maybe feel like you're not being heard or it's really bothering you.
Yeah, exactly.
I do feel like there might be something triggering that pattern of consistently fighting about this and not realizing, okay, what are we actually fighting about? Is it what you mentioned that, okay, I feel like we're getting in a time in our life where it's not the same. Like we're not the same couple we were when we were first dating or when we were first married. Do you think something there is bringing your frustration?
I think that we're both just like not. I think that we're both not happy with the other person, and we're dealing with it in different ways. I think that he's not happy with me because I'm yelling and picking at tiny things, and I think that I'm upset with him because he just doesn't listen to me anymore. He never brings me flowers or picks up groceries or helps around the house. Like he just doesn't pay attention to me. He comes home and turns on ESPN, and it's just like I'm living in this house with someone that doesn't notice me, and that's just so lonely. And so then I lash out at him, but like it's the only way that I ever get him to say anything to me.
So your frustration is coming out of a place of he's not paying attention to me, he's not doing the things that makes me feel loved and cared for, and therefore you're probably saying the only way that I can actually get his attention is by yelling, is by having those fights. Is that accurate?
Yeah, probably. Like when you put it like that, like I kind of feel like I'm like a little kid who's like acting out to get attention from their parents, but it's just I feel like backed into a corner. I don't know what else to do. Like I don't want to get a divorce, but I don't want to live with someone who just just looks right through me.
Now, have you told Patrick that you don't feel like he's paying attention to you, that he's not listening to you? Do you feel lonely? Have you told him that?
No, not in those specific calm words.
Do you think that would help?
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be better than what I'm doing. I'm just, I guess what keeps me from doing that is, like, I don't know how he's gonna react. Like, how do you tell someone, you know, that, like, hey, I'm not happy?
Okay. Now, you mentioned earlier that these are the things that are making you unhappy, but that you feel that he's unhappy. Has he told you that he's unhappy?
No, I feel like he's unhappy because the only time we communicate is when we fight, and he's not doing the things that he used to do. So I feel like his actions are, you know, speaking louder than words. Like, if he was happy, he would treat me like he used to, and he just doesn't anymore. So it's, no, he hasn't in plain English said I'm not happy, but
you as his wife can sense that.
yeah, there's definitely something going on. I'm just not entirely sure.
How does that make you feel knowing that he's not happy?
I mean, it probably makes me feel like I failed a little bit, you know, like, it's one of my main identities is to be a wife, and to know that I'm not doing a good job at that and I'm not making someone happy. It's hard. Like, it's like it's like the equivalent, like, I don't know. It's like if I lost my job or something, it's a main thing that I feel that I'm good at, and I'm not good at it right now.
How does that sense of failure, do you think he feels that or understands that?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I would imagine that me yelling at him all the time and, you know, just complaining about stuff doesn't make him feel like he's being a good husband.
I know we don't have a lot of time left, but going forward, do you want to stop the fighting?
Yeah, I do.
And do you feel that you can work through that and that we can come to find some things that we can do to help you figure out, okay, there are other ways that I can probably communicate how I'm feeling, because your feelings are validated, you know, and he needs to know that you feel, you know, that you feel lonely, that you feel frustrated at this, and that this is the only way that you can talk about it. That's not the way that, you know, you should be talking about it, and that'll be helpful.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that I want to work towards. It's not healthy to be yelling at someone over every little thing, so I need to find, like, a constructive way to tell him how I'm feeling.
Now, I don't want you to feel that your feelings aren't important and that you should be doing all of this stuff for him and not get anything in return. Do you think there are things that you can express to him to let him know, I need to know, do you want to work on this? Do you want to do something about this? Do you think he would be receptive to you mentioning steps that you can take so that both of you can work on it?
Yeah, I think he would definitely be open to it at the very least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for opening up, and I appreciate that you came in today, and I hope that I can continue to help you in this process.
Thanks, Janiel.
You're welcome.